Coming across my desk today is the new debut product from Robin James, aka Man for Himself, here on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and assume you all watch him already. You all know who he is. I mean, if you're here watching me, his channel's worlds ahead of mine, so I can't imagine anyone here hasn't already been over there. And by the way, if you have been over there and now you're coming over here, welcome. My name is Mike. This is Modern Man TV. Today we are talking about the Anforh texture volume spray from Robin James, Man for Himself. I'll be doing a standard review on this today, and we're doing a giveaway, meaning I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on this first, and then we'll be giving away 2 of these for free. So stick around to the end for info on that if you want to try this spray out for free. Before we begin the review though, a little disclaimer, I do consider Robin a personal friend. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him in person, but we have talked for several years now. He's an incredible human being, someone I admire very much. But all that being said, I intend to give my full opinion on this spray today, and that is out of respect for both Robin and you, essentially. I think I owe both of you the respect of presenting my honest thoughts on this, and I'm 100% certain Robin would have it no other way. So as we usually do here with these reviews, let's put 5 minutes on the clock and jump right in. This is the Anforh TVS Texture Volume Spray, and according to the brand, this is a sea salt spray thickening tonic hybrid that provides weightless volume with a reworkable hold while also providing thickening effects. Officially speaking, it's listed as a 4 out of 5 on texture, 2 out of 5 on hold, and a 1 out of 5 on shine level. Price-wise, we are looking at $30 US for 3.4 ounces. Moving over to the scent now. On this one, it's listed as the Anforh original scent, and I told this to Robin directly, so I'm gonna tell it to you. This one here was a little much for my allergies. I have a terrible scent allergy, and so this one here, it was just a little overbearing for me. It's very loud, it's very floral. The first time I smelt it, my eyeballs almost popped out of my friggin' skull, which is, you know, of course, due to my fragrance allergy. So as I always say, take that for what you will. My experience with fragrance will likely be different than you. But Robin did also recently share with me that the fragrance is being dialed back a little bit. So there's that. Since there is no scoop to examine on this is usually where we look at the consistency of the product. There's, you know, this is a spray. So we're just going to jump straight over that into the demo here. And this one, it's not really complicated. It's a texture spray. So there's a few different ways you can use this. You can, of course, spray it directly into towel dry hair and just let it dry naturally. You can absolutely do that. You can even spray it in there and do a little scrunching a little bit for a nice tousled look. But for the big results, the results that I was really interested in seeing, you really need to use it as a pre-styler, which is what I'm going to show you here. So we've got a standard pre-styling scenario, freshly washed hair. I'm not going to put anything else in there, just the TVS. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it all around my head. I'm going to work it in a little bit, and then I'm going to hit it with the heat and use a brush. And the reason for the brush is while the heat is going to work, I'm using the brush to just direct my hair back. And after just a few minutes of blow drying, I actually begin to notice the effect taking shape with the spray. It presents itself as kind of a tacky, dry, almost dense feeling, but you can actually kind of see it coming through if you look closely. You can see it on the top of my head there. It's got a nice matte finish and a nice density going on there. So I'm going to keep drying. I'm going to get it fully dry. And when I'm done, I'm also going to hit it with the cold air. That really just locks things in and really gives you a full view of the effect that this spray has on the hair. And when we're done with all of that, here's what we got. I do think it has a nice thickening effect. It's, again, definitely dense, but it's not overly so. It's not, you know, overly intense. The thing that I see the most of here is hold. There's some really great hold there, a lot of structure. And I think you can actually see it on camera. You can see how my hair is directed nicely. It's not falling apart. It's not falling down. It's just got a lot of structure to it. One thing I wanted to do though is I wanted to wait a bit to see if it lifted or changed at all. Some of these sprays actually do that. They'll be one way, and then in like, you know, 10-15 minutes, they'll be completely different. So I waited about 45 minutes, and it did shift just a little. I think the tackiness lifted and became a little more natural. I think the hold that presented as tacky in the very, very beginning kind of lifted a little bit to feel a little bit more natural, but it didn't lose that structure. That's really important to note. It didn't lose that structure, but it did feel a bit more natural, so I could move it around a little easier. Moving over to the washout section, this is usually where I discuss the washout. There's not much to report here. This isn't a jarred styling product, so there's no real residue or anything like that. I did rinse test this out, and I felt like nothing was there. So I am going to call it a water rinse, but again, there's no residue either way. So take that for what you will, I guess. Time now, though, for the verdict. And with this spray here, just like most products, I've got quite a few things that I enjoyed and a couple of points that I marked as pieces of criticism. First off, the hold was fantastic. I think it's just where you would want it for a product like this. In my thick hair, it presented as highly structured, once again, very dense, even a little bit tacky. And what that tells me is if you have short hair, fine hair, or hair that struggles with volume, the result in my hair tells me that the result in your hair should be much more intense. You should really enjoy this. I think this should work beautifully for you if you fall into one of those hair categories. If you've got hair like mine, it's a little bit on the thicker side. I don't have the thickest hair, but I do have fairly thick hair. I think it also works for you, as it obviously worked for me. I also thought the finish was spot on. It was a nice deep matte finish. It didn't add any shine. I don't particularly like shine in products like this, so I'm really glad I didn't see that here. The ability also to combine it with other products was good in my opinion. I tried it with about 6 or 7 different things, both from my personal line and stuff from not my personal line, and I think it works as a true collaborator with other products, which is something that you do want to see again from products of this type. Finally, I also thought it was great that they didn't make this dry the hair out. A lot of sprays do that for some reason. You know, they want to give off the idea that they are doing something, so they just dry the crap out of your hair. I'm glad that they chose to actually present real results here and not just try to fake us into thinking it was doing something. The criticism, though, that I do have on this product lies in a couple of areas. The first being the fragrance, which once again mostly is due to my allergies, you know, full disclosure there, but I do think the scent beyond that was quite loud and it stuck around for quite a while. It doesn't seem to lift or dissipate, which might have been a point of his. Robin might have wanted that to happen, so I don't want to, criticize that too much, but it's not my personal preference to have the fragrance be both so loud and stick around forever. The other part that I didn't see much of was texture. In my hair, I didn't see much of the texture, which was surprising to me. I thought it would for sure come out a bit more, but I think in my hair, it presented more so as kind of a thickening effect, a more dense effect than a texturous and volumized effect. So the thickening was there for sure, but not so much volume and texture. As usual though, products are subjective, so my experience may not be the same as yours. I do actually personally think that this could be a really great option for people with that fine hair type, the shorter hair types, ones that really struggle with volume and texture and things like that. I do think that you're really gonna find a friend in this spray. I also really like that Robin identified a usual hole in many types of sprays, which is they don't have the hold that they advertise to have. I've tried many sprays that say, oh, we got a nice strong hold or a good presentable hold, and you put it in there and you're like, where is that hold? It's not there at all. I am assuming that he also identified this, and that is the reason why the hold was so much front and center on this spray. And I actually really like that. I want to be able to put a spray in my hair like this and really be able to see right away what it can do. In the end, as always, the final verdict is up to you. And if you'd like to check out the texture volume spray from Anforh, Robin James, man for himself, I will leave a link down below where you can find it. But if you would like to try one of these for free, Robin has graciously offered up 2 of these for free to 2 lucky subscribers. And as usual, all you have to do to participate is 1, be a subscriber to this channel. It's a big one. You got to do that. 2, you got to follow the link in the description to the Gleam platform where you can enter to win 1 of 2 free bottles of the TVS. I want to thank Robin once again for sending this out for me to take a look at and putting on the giveaway. It's a big help. I really appreciate that. I also want to thank you guys for checking this out with me. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.